Hello and welcome to Hoi4, the Thousand Week Reich mod. This is yet another mod that envisions a Nazi victory in World War II. Now, if you're coming from the New Order videos, which is of a similarly themed mod, those videos will continue, though I had a save game issue. But I'm checking this out for now because this just released, and it's kind of like a more, from what I've read, a more grounded take on the whole like Nazi victory thing from the New Order. The New Order, a lot of the absurd Nazi plans were realized, and here they try to do it a bit more grounded, I guess. Now, I have all the audio muted for now until we've gotten into our nation, because this mod has some menu music, and I don't know whether or not it's copyrighted. Like most menu music in mods, it does tend to be, so I'm just trying to play it on the safe side. Now, Hitler's 1,000-year Reich under the Nazi Party stands victorious in Europe. It's called the 1,000 Week Reich, by the way, because a Nazi empire will not last. It's not built to last. Its empire spanning from Calais to Arkhangelsk. Or that's not how you pronounce it, but as the British Empire crumbles, the torch of democracy is passed to the rapidly growing industrial powerhouse in the United States. In the east, the Kuomintang consolidates control over China, while remnants of the Russian army regroup across the Urals and Siberia. The war ended only 5 years ago, but with the unexpectedly fragile New World Order seeing signs of collapse, nobody can know how long the perverse peace will hold. Well, so we've got the NATO countries, which are the United Kingdom, the United States of America, and you've got the Republic of China, which stands in the middle, I'm guessing, kind of neutral. They're trying to take over Japan's spot in Asia, and then you've got the Kingdom of Italy, and you've got Greater Germany. I'm going to jump into the main thing like I did in the New Order. I'm going to jump into Greater Germany. We're going to see how that is, and we're going to get into these once we get into the game, and we can pump up the music. Select country, and we're going to talk about all the other stuff around here once we're in, because there's a lot of interesting and weird stuff going on. I believe we're safe right now. They do have that like a loading bar, kind of like the New Order, but one thing that I already prefer about this over the New Order is excellent, don't get me wrong, for many reasons, but one thing I already prefer in this over the New Order is the UI. Let me open up my mixer and turn on the audio again. There we go. Now the music should be extremely quiet, you might not even hear it that much, but Swabian Knights, when Bismarck united the German peoples under one empire, most dreamt of a grand state that could surpass Napoleon. Napoleon. However, only one man dared to put this dream into action, the Führer. After the swift victory on the Western Front, all eyes turned to the Red Menace in the east, where the Germans' fury fell upon the Bolsheviks in full force. Kiev, Minsk, Sevastopol crumbled under the German might. Meanwhile, the Soviets found themselves isolated, standing alone as the world turned their back on them. Soon, Leningrad fell after a combined assault by the Luftwaffe, Kriegsmarine, and Wehrmacht. As an all-out assault threatened Moscow, Stalin was forced to relocate his troops away from Stalingrad, opening the door for German intrusion into the Caucasus oil fields. Stalingrad too fell after an encirclement bled the city dry, and finally, after millions of deaths on both sides, the German flag flew above the Red Square. However, this victory was never official, as the Reds have relocated to Perm, with Stalin going missing during the chaos in Moscow. Sure, I want to hear more. Nothing can surpass the amount of reading you have to do in the New Order, after all. At the crisis of 48, after the end of major operations in the East, Germany enjoyed a period of stability and economic boom. But this period was jeopardized in 1948 when Adolf Hitler fell into a coma after suffering from a stroke. A prominent general, Henning von Treshkov, used this opportunity to seize power, declaring that Adolf Hitler is dead. Von Treshkov proclaimed himself Prime Minister of Germany and formed a new military cabinet. Loyalist Waffen-SS and military elements refused to recognize the von Treshkov government. General Erich von Manstein formed a league of neutral regions and military formations, which included the Reichskommissariats. Just as all hell was about to break loose, Oh, when you read too much, you end up missing a beat. The Fuhrer recovered from his coma, losing all legitimacy. Henning von Tresckow was arrested, then executed. While this crisis only lasted for 100 days, its impacts were severe, ending the German economic boom and pushing Germany into stagnation. Von Tresckow will be remembered like the Judes and Bolsheviks. So, let's have a look here. First of all, we've got a whole shit ton of military units. A lot of motorized, or mechanized rather. Right? That's mechanized, isn't it? Or is it motorized? That might be mechanized. And you've got... by the way, I'm using NATO symbols. I just like them, honestly. And I might use a mod that allows us to have NATO division symbols and stuff. And not just division symbols, theater symbols as well. Because I don't like the lack of a great variance in the default symbols here. Let's just put them all under one army for now. 109 divisions, not bad. And oh, we actually have more over here in the Reichskommissariats. SS divisions, okay. Okay, so first of all, being that I am a Norwegian man, I want to have a look at what is going on in Norway, and I'm already upset because it is incredibly cursed. This is not incredibly cursed, this is incredibly cool. So Vidkun Quisling was the figurehead of the Nazi occupation in Norway that attempted to sort of enact the first coup by radio in history. When the Nazis invaded, he went into the national broadcasting offices in Oslo and went on the radio and announced himself as the new prime minister, which of course did not really take hold, and took a while for him to get a sort of figurehead position, but he was never really well liked by the people and he didn't have much power. Meanwhile, power was rested in the hands of Reichskommissar. Oh wait, Reichskommissar? Yeah, that's it. Reichskommissar Josef Terboven. And but he's not here now. Now it's actually Vidkun Quisling. By the way, all the photos here are black and white, which is, I guess, kind of cool. Because it's the 1950s, and it's 1952, while the New Order started in 1962. So this is kind of more early Cold War, I guess, against the United States of America and stuff. And I guess the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics, Ussr, led by Lavrenti Beria, who is a terrible person. But yeah, let's have a look at Germany and Norway. Of course, we've got to have a look at the United Kingdom and everyone else. Before I get too deep into this and get ahead of myself, this is potentially going to be a limited Let's Play. I'll play until I feel like we've seen enough, I guess, of one country, and with no guarantee of playing it to the end of all the content. What that means is that this is not necessarily going to be a main series, a main staple of the channel, but if people want to see more of this, I can potentially just keep playing if you want me to. And the way to express that is through the comments and the likes. Let's see. Oh yeah, Germany first. SS infighting after the formation of Gotenland and the rise of Reinhard Heydrich. Oh god, he's also a fucking bastard. SS have grown into two factions of its own, one side known as the Heydrich clique and the other side known as the Himmler clique. Its rivalry is tearing the SS apart and threatens the stability of Germany itself. We have extreme economic stagnation. This is actually one of the most horrible economic modifiers I've seen in all of Hoi4. Nazi recruitment system, if you want to call it that. With the wars ending in Nazi victory, Hitler quickly started his radical ethnic purification campaigns. In particular, the military was especially affected by this. With it being cut in half, removing all but the best and most Aryan troops, the nation's recruitment process was also tightened and standard training reformed into a more complex system. We have an oversized Kriegsmarine. For some reason I can't pronounce my R's correctly today. I think it's because I've woken up recently and not really eaten much or had much to drink. Never abandoning the dream of a Grand Navy, Germany doubled down on its naval production after the war with Britain. Under Karl Dönitz, the Navy expanded rapidly with hundreds of submarines being deployed. Yep. Keep the Kriegsmarine functioning in minimal budget while maintaining the regular massive size, resulting in outdated unfit ships in active service. And then you have an overgrown officer corps. The half-decade of peace for the Reich has seen general reductions in army unit size and economic demobilization. The officer corps, however, have seen little to no change since the last days of the war, with Hitler being reluctant to lower funds in the fear of upsetting the former aristocracy within the army leadership. The whole system has grown extremely large, corrupt, and inefficient. Yeah, it's basically like a pseudo-aristocracy of military generals and whatnot. Okay. I want to have a look at the Union State of Norway. So you have London exiles. After the defeat of Norway, the government and the royal family fled to Britain, remaining as the Norwegian government in exile. Yep. Norwegian resistance with the it's called a monogram, the like symbol of King Haakon VII there, H7. That was a symbol of resistance, worn by people, sort of embroidered into a lot of things, put into like complex patterns where it wasn't too easy to see, like a symbol of civil disobedience and whatnot. Due to the Norwegian administration's incompetence, many resistance cells are active within Norway. These rebels are loyal to the London exiles and have sworn their allegiance to fight until the day when Norway is finally free once again. They are colloquially referred to as the lads in the woods, or in Norwegian gutta på skauen. And the people who fled into the forest, the woods, to escape the mandatory conscription into the occupation administration's workforce. They didn't want to join that labor force because they feared that it would mean that they would have to fight in the Nazi military. So they fled into the woods, and then the most dedicated of them emerged from the woods with guns to shoot Nazis. And let's see. Illegitimate government, yep. Current Norwegian regime has been viewed as illegitimate from all sides, especially from its own citizens. Until the day the government manages to secure its independence, its reputation would remain that of an illegitimate bastard regime. The German shadow. While Norway is ruled by the Quisling regime, the shadows of the German occupation past still remain, with the majority of state politics and affairs dominated by German advisors, okay? I'm sure we'll have time to, like, read stuff as we are paused, but I want to have a look at something. So we've got the Ordensstaat Banat. That's kind of weird. An SS state, led by Sepp Janko. Nazi colonial repression, oppressed natives, shit stuff with aristocracy, disorganized bandits, okay. You've got Government of National Salvation in Serbia. Bulgarians and Turkey. Don't really know who a lot of these people are. Independent Croatia. German funding for suppression. Kingdom of Italy, of course. Il Duce. No ridiculous Gibraltar dam in this one. Clement Attlee is leading the United Kingdom. Clement Attlee of the Labour Party, interesting. Member of the United Nations. Oh, okay, that is kind of cool. Head of state. Oh, that's actually interesting. So you've got a different, like, head of state thing. Member of NATO, or sorry, Toronto Accord, as it's called here. Britain forced to cut ties with Europe now under Nazi domination, turn across the Atlantic to America as its closest ally. The two fighting side by side against Japan and Asia, along with their Commonwealth allies. Got a really, yeah, like a lot of really cool modifiers. Imperial instability, not great. National focus trees are quite expansive. Holy crap. Oh my god. Oh no, the rally. British Union of Fascists. Oh, there he is. Oswald Mosley, I don't like him. For obvious reasons. Cool. Let's have a look at our focus trees. Don't know if this one employs the same... I'm doubting that this mod employs the same methods as the New Order, where it hides part of the focus tree. Though it does look like you're going to... Okay, so this focus tree is a focus tree of a nation that is not going to last. It isn't as long as the UK one, and yeah, it seems to be set up for a split, I'm guessing. Status of the Reich cannot be cancelled manually, so we have to do that one no matter what, right? Yeah, so I'm just gonna do that. The unthinkable. What's this? past unexpectedly caused his death. Many high-ranking officials... Oh, spoilers! Misspelling of Goering, though. And, of course, the music, once again, as sometimes happens, has stopped. Bormann, Himmler, Speer, and Goebbels. Americans sometimes pronounce it as Goebbels, which is really weird. I'm gonna go status of the Reich then. As we enter into a new year, we face the same problems. Not so subtle factionalism within the party, an economy in freefall, and sluggish armed forces, and all in all, 1952 has proven to be the worst year for the Reich in recent memory. Moving forward, it is clear that we must tackle these issues head-on, as they are slowly killing our nation and threatening to undo all of the progress we have fought so hard to achieve. Quote-unquote progress. We shall do whatever it takes, courting the upper crust of the party, regrettably bending the knee to the demands of those cursed industrial cartels, and executing careful political maneuvering within the Reichstag. We've shied away from being willing to get our hands dirty for a long time, and now we are faced with no other option. Let's have a look at tech, because tech is always cool in these, like, near future, or... near future, 1952, I'm sorry, that's the wrong way of saying it. The mods that take place shortly after the actual World War II setting, and oh my god, they have the disgusting G100 gun. It's not actually called the G100, it's like G11 or something, isn't it? This is a disgusting thing made out of plastic. It's weird. It's got this like weird twisty thing on it for you to like pull mags out. It had multiple magazines inside of a box here, so you can have them close at hand instead of carrying them in pouches. I don't know why that's important. It's very strange. Looks very like sci-fi. Panzerfaust, they don't have a model for that yet, or like artwork for it yet. The artwork is actually pretty good. I don't know where they got it. They're using a lot of artwork from different things in this. I noticed. So. See, this is kind of, yeah, pretty standard. I like how the tech tree isn't too complex right now. It's just expanded. They got the tech tree, or the tech stuff, from a mod called Minutes to Midnight, I think, which I haven't checked out. I might check that out if you want me to. Infantry fighting vehicles, yeah. APCs. Katzen. So what does SPZ stand for? I know, oh, it says right there, Schützenpanzer. Because I know Panzerkampfwagen is the KPZ, right? Got E48, yeah, just expanded. Nothing too complicated. This isn't too complicated either. And Land Doctrine, not too wild either. MTG Naval Folder. Mod did just release, there might be bugs. This also seems to just be expanded. Helicopter, POG. So you got the FA-223. Oh, you got like a bunch of weird Nazi, I'm guessing, helicopter designs. That looks like an Mi-48 from like a Russian Mi-48. And this is like a this or that. This is like a Bell, and this is like a Black Hawk looking thing. No, that's an Mi-48, isn't it? Wait, which one is the Mi-40? One of them is the attack helicopter, and one of them is the transport one. So this is pretty cool. So we got, okay, these are attack, scout, anti-submarine, and transport. Interesting. Light aircraft. Once again, the music. I need to remove A Storm is Coming or whatever. Drop tanks. Using some Wasserbomben as stealth technologies research there. 28 years ahead of time. Oh my god. Wasserbomben meaning depth charges. That's like the actual model for depth charges, I think, in the naval stuff. Heavy aircraft, light aircraft, so Messerschmitts, they don't have a lot of like cool art like TNO does. But I mean, you can see where it's going with it, right? With the outlines. Are there any... No, so they're not doing like the ridiculous stuff, like the Blom and Voss planes or whatever, that I think TNO has something like that. This does look ridiculous though. The Horton there. Engineering. just expanded, industry, expanded, and nuclear and advanced weapons. This is completely new, I think. Right? Or am I being stupid? At least a lot of it is new. Missile technologies. You got wartime rocketry, and then you've got MRBM, which is multiple... no. Medium range, never mind. Medium range ballistic missile, and then you got 2 intercontinental ballistic missiles. And then you got nuclear bombs, of course, atomic research speed. This is really good to have. And apparently we didn't get... no, we got nuclear bombs. But we didn't get atomic research, I guess. That's weird. Chemical. That's for chemical warfare. N series. Research speed minus 2%. Global... what does this mean? Most poisonous substances ever created, it seems to have a high potential for mass production along with unparalleled lethality. Okay, so this is kind of like how to destroy the world. Biological warfare, I'm guessing. Oh my god, weaponized diseases. Yeah, this gets really dark. Super biological agent. And all these give you minus research speed. That's interesting. Okay, well, standard opening. Mechanical computing. It's only 39 days, that's kind of wild. And industry. What industry path are we on? We're not on any path. Post-war line production, countrywide improvements, and civilian construction. I mean, these two I think are the most important. What's this? Military construction. Okay, so it's just, yeah, it's the exact same, just a very different art. Let's go there. Don't know what we're gonna go with here. Mass production or batch production. Post-war line at least, and we'll do civilian construction, and we'll do free repair isn't really needed. Okay, so this actually gives us factories. That's interesting. Unlocks decisions for core industrial areas or for decentralization. That's interesting. Well, I'm gonna do that one then. And having helicopters would be kind of cool. But having artillery is more important. We already have that, never mind. Improved shells. Do our divisions have line artillery in them? They have support artillery, and I don't know if it said only support or it said line as well. It says line artillery, not support artillery. So that's completely useless for us right now. In which case, maybe we should go with some of this stuff. Nope, we can't. We already have the max tech over here. Then support companies, maybe. Yeah, recon companies are good. Engineering companies are good. It's gonna take a long ass time, but we'll do it anyways. And what else do we need to do? Unassign divisions. Yeah, now we've got all 112 divisions. We'll assign that later. I have a feeling we're not going to be fighting just quite yet. Let's have a look at production-wise what we need. How do you check that again? I think I'll have to unpause to actually see that. We have no guns. Okay. Then I think I know what we need. Wait, towed artillery and post artillery, what's the difference here? I probably shouldn't do the towed artillery because I think that's old tech. Once again, where the heck are you? It's not even in the list. Don't get it. Looks like we have a lot of motorized, so I'm gonna prioritize that a little bit. Artillery is always important. I mean, I'm probably gonna be like going full on the guns here actually, because we have a lot of divisions. We have some planes. I don't necessarily know what planes we need to be using, so wartime fighter, those seem to be old. Yeah, let's decommission those. Wartime fighter CV. Do we have, we don't have post-war CV yet, so I'm gonna keep that, I guess. Ask for some rubber from British Malaya. Let's unpause a little bit. Okay, cool. I want to have a look at the United States before we get too far into this, or before we really start to get into this. You've got the Home of the Free, Ideology Drift Defense, you've got United Nations Council, American Hegemony, Economic Miracle, the American Industry, Memories of the Pacific War, and Racial Segregation. Oh boy, Harry Truman. I'm guessing the Truman Doctrine is based around the Nazis then, instead of the Communists. That's interesting. So they've got like policy categories based on time period. So 1952 to 1956 policies, 56 to 60 policies. Look, it reminds me of cards being grouped by time period in Twilight Struggle and like a board game, and the Coin, the counterintelligence series of board games. The Coup, okay. Is that General MacArthur? At Generals America. Which general is this? We can't see. Yeah, this doesn't seem that big. A Great Crusade, okay. That's against the Germans. The German Civil War, containment of Nazism. Well, another spoiler. Though, I mean, you can't have a game about the Nazis winning without a civil war, right? Canadian. Focus trees. This is an interesting icon. I've never seen an icon that wide before. Right, let's unpause. Let's have a look at the USSR focus tree. The tutorial. Hello and welcome to the 1000 Week Reich mod. As part of the mod, there are a couple of additional menus and mechanics that are not present in vanilla, and if this is your first time playing TWR, you may want an explanation of these mechanics, which can be selected below. Sure, yeah. What's a GDP mechanic? Every nation is assigned a GDP, a measure of economic size, which is based on a formula accounting for a country's civilian and military factors and resources. This is in arbitrary units to avoid issues of currency conversions and such. To view the GDP of the current countries in the world, visit the World GDP menu, which can be accessed by clicking the button in the bottom right corner in the red box picture below. Gotcha. We have the second highest GDP, the United States having the highest one, I'm guessing. Yeah, 100. So this is EU4 like shield borders or whatever. I think this is probably placeholder. 145. US having 237. GDP, gross domestic product. China behind us, and then United Kingdom, France, Italy, Occupy Japan. Wait, Occupy Japan is an interesting flag. Czechoslovakia. Reverse Philippines. Yoshida Shigeru. Total military restriction, bitter defeat, left-wing agitation. Okay. I'm extremely pissed off with this one. Which one has a storm is coming? It's also on 4. That's weird. Okay. What's a UN mechanic? Menu for this can be accessed by clicking the UN emblem button at the top right of the politics menu as indicated by the picture. Yeah, we don't really have UN, so unless we can click it still. Oh, we can actually, yeah. Various resolutions are made during the game, often in response to specific events such as wars. The permanent members of the Security Council can then vote for or against the resolution or abstain, with any vote against being counted as a veto and the resolution not being passed. Okay, I'm ready to play. no resolutions. So it's kind of like that, the UN, the League of Nations kind of mechanics in Civilization, I guess. Oh yeah, I want to have a look at the parties in Norway just because I am Norwegian and Frelsesregering. That is a misspelling. It would be Frelsesregjering, which I'm guessing means the government of salvation. And then you got National Samling, National Unity, the party. And then you got NKP, Norwegian Communist Party, and Marxist-Leninist. And you've got AP, Norwegian Labour Party, Arbeiderpartiet. You've got Venstre, meaning the Liberal Party, meaning left. And then you got Christian Democrat Party, which is weird that the Christian Democrats are the Conservative Party and not the Conservative Party, which did exist at this time, which is called Hoi4. Very strange, honestly, because yeah, yellow is the color of the Christians and blue is the color of the Conservatives, usually in Norwegian politics. Do we need to build anything in the dockyards? We have like an oversized navy, right? Graf Zeppelin. Nah, we're not gonna build any of this like stupid stuff that's huge. Type 11. Is that it? Type 11, 1950 type attack submarine, and type whatever the fuck that number is. Attack submarine hull. They're both attack submarines and they cost almost the same. I'm guessing this one is better. There's your type 7, the U-boat from... It doesn't look like it, but it's meant to be the U-boat from Das Boot, for example. We'll be piloting that in a U-boat simulator let's play that I'm recording and probably editing a little bit, which will be going up on the channel at some point. Let's go with... It's not the game U-boat, it's Silent Hunter 5, all first person, very in-depth simulation, but let's go with some of these. Having U-boats is always important. We don't have the ability to create any long-range submarines yet. For that we would need Navy experience. But we could create some destroyers. They're all really old though. Yeah, we can only create 1945 destroyers. I'm gonna not do that. I'm not gonna... Wait, how much steel do we have? Oh, never mind, we have so much steel. Let's create some bullshit then. This is old as hell. Do we have any 1950 cruiser? That is acceptable, I suppose. And then... I think that's actually like the best we can make. Oh, there we go, 1950 destroyer. Okay. We have a decision. War propaganda, right? Third wave of fake news. Propaganda Ost, okay. Oh yeah, because we had a thing showing up here. It might have faded. We don't have political power anyways. Oh, that might have just been the event that was up. Third wave of fake news. There's been 2 waves of fabricated reports about our plans in Eastern Europe, and the Greater German Reich is preparing a new wave of news to prove the Reich is innocent to the world. And then real evidence. Okay, more cover-up, overseas testimony. Drilled by our overseas agents, some of the refugees that escaped the occupied nations will make statements about their greatness under German authority, and they will say how much they regret leaving. Where have I heard something like that before? Let's have a look at our generals here and let's start like doing some Hermann Hoth. Iceman. Never mind, let's not start doing this because we are way past time. It's been 34 minutes, and with that I want to say thank you so much for watching the video. If you are looking for any sort of information, you can usually find it in the description down below. Well, that includes a lot of the information that has been flashing on the screen throughout the Let's Play. Twitch channel where I live stream, Twitter where I share my bad opinions, and my Patreon where people pay me money and I'm eternally grateful for them. And there's one more, the Discord, of course, where people talk to me about this mod, and I wouldn't have known about it without the Discord. So check that out if you have anything you want to talk about. I also read the comments, and I try to respond to most of them, but of course I can't. Oh no! This man is bad. Yeah. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.